Hey guys, sorry for the technical difficulties and the delay, but we are live now. Welcome to Deep in Love Talks, and we have our guest, Avion Blackstone. Welcome. We're so excited to have you here tonight. How are
Hi,
you?
everybody. Oh, this is cool. This was a technological experience figuring I've never done Google Hangouts before, so thanks for introducing me.
You're welcome. They can be a lot of fun. It's streaming live on two different locations right now, so if people have questions, yep, there we go. People are pulling in questions right now. So there we go. So Deep in Love is all about positivity and people following their dreams and following their passions. And so we have an hour-long talk show tonight. You're on the first half. And so we start listening to your music, your piano. You play the piano,
Yes, I do.
correct? You sing.
Yes, I do.
Nice. So we're going to go ahead and dive right on in there and get started tonight. So introduce yourself. Tell us about what you do, your name, where you're from.
Well, my name is Avion Blackstone. I am in Austin, Texas, courtesy of a very long list of other places, and I'm a singer and songwriter and, lover of bright hair colors and other cool things like that. So that's me in a nutshell. That's where I'm at. But
So where do you currently live?
Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas. It's like very live music city, lots of fantastic people here and very hot in the summer, but I like that. So
Nice.
anybody who's in a cold place, you can come down here and have great music and sunshine. It's fantastic. So,
I actually have some good friends down there, so I keep saying I'm gonna head out there, but I have yet to do that. I live in California, and I prefer to be in Cali. I love it here.
oh, Cali is great. I like to visit. I like to visit. So.
Nice. Okay, so what type of genre music do you do?
Well, I'm definitely all pop. I'm very much pop, but I'm about positive pop. I like to call it dark pop because it's kind of about digging in and dealing with issues that we all face, but really working through them and actually dealing with them. And it gets into some pretty heavy stuff, but I always want to bring it up at the end so that there's a message that it's going somewhere, that it's positive, and that you're rising up. So, and that's what I write, that's what I put into my poetry, and hopefully into the beats and everything that you can hear as well.
So I'm gonna assume that maybe there was something in your life that prompted you to write these types of lyrics.
Oh,
Or maybe there isn't, and you just have always been positive and wanting to talk about more than surface level stuff.
well, I would have to say that it's been kind of a long road. It's been something that I had to learn how to do for myself because, especially as we're growing up, we're surrounded with so many incredibly dismal perspectives of the world. You can turn on any radio station, any news channel today, and just be absolutely scared to death because everything on there is so negative and so terrifying. But as I was growing up, especially, as a young child, I started playing and writing songs at the age of 3, and it was hard for me to process emotions through anything other than music. And I dealt with, as a teenager, some very severe depression, come out of some very dark places and circumstances, and I had to develop the attitude of, this may not have been my fault, but now that I'm in it, it is my responsibility. And I need to find a way to process this and to pull myself out and to help other people do that as well. So that was it's a very, very long road, and I could give you a laundry list of stuff, but every little thing kind of like tweaked me on the path to having that attitude. So that's kind of where I come from.
That is awesome. I actually have a very big audience that are teenagers, and I don't know if you know about myself, but I'm actually a suicide intervention coach. So I
Yes,
run.
ma'am. That's one of the reasons I wanted to talk with you today. I was like, that is interesting. That's wonderful.
Nice. So if you don't mind sharing a few tips or what you could, physical suggestions, practical suggestions of what helped you transition out of those deep, dark times into the person that you are today.
Well, I would say that the very first one was finding a positive emotional outlet. Emotions are physical. And if we just sit there and kind of let everything be internal and just simmer in here, it kind of turns into this yuck. And we get sicker and sicker and darker, and we don't know what to do about it because there's everything just building. But if you release that in a physical way, then it starts to feel better. And we see this a lot with some of the very dark behaviors that I've dealt with myself, with self-injury, with some very destructive eating habits, and just things that we were trying to find a way to equalize the outside with the inside. But what I found really helped me was to sit down and actually physically write the poems, or to actually play the piano keys, or if I couldn't do either one of those, go jog, go lift weights, pet the cat. Those little things help to put you in a better place where that energy is kind of flowing out of you and it's not trapped. But I would say especially, for me, obviously the writing and the music, that's not going to be everybody's thing. You might be excellent at ballet, or you might be excellent at basketball, or maybe your thing is going to be video games. But finding something that involves your body is the thing that I personally think has helped me the most.
I love that. I love how you said a positive outlook, because you still need a way to vent or a way to express yourself, but it's finding in a positive manner to do so. That may not fix you right away, but it's long term.
Exactly. I think that's the most important thing, if you're coming through a place of depression, or like with me coming through dealing with some abuse or something that's very difficult, be patient with yourself. Have some compassion for yourself. And I think it's important. There's a difference between self-compassion and self-pity. Self-pity says, woe is me, it'll never get better. And self-compassion says, I've been through a lot. I need some time. And so understanding that you do this day by day, and it will get better day by day, kind of moment by moment. And that's having that faith to keep it up, even when you don't feel like it's working.
Absolutely. I love that. I went through my own transition, and so one thing that I found worked for me was today, it's okay to not be okay. A lot of times we see all these happy faces and happy celebrities and happy people all plastered on magazines and billboards and TV everywhere, and sometimes you're not okay, and that's also okay because you can get there,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love it. Do you have any personal inspirations in your life, whether musical or other?
I have lots of inspirations in my life. I'd have to say my first ones are my fans. We call them Aviants. It's just like they came up with that name themselves. I'm just like, oh my God, I have a fandom, So that's one of the things now in my life that I just wake up going, oh my God, I have a fandom. I can't believe this. So that's one thing for me that's very inspiring, and just hearing some of those people's stories. Like I love to get on Twitter, and I'm sure some of the people on your show can come talk to me and tell me a little bit about them, but hearing the different things that they've been through and what they're aspiring to do, and some of the stories are just, it's like I look at that and go, wow, if you can come out of that and do everything you're doing, then I should be golden. I got no excuse. And so that's very inspiring to me. If we want to talk about like favorite celebrities and movie stars and whatever else, I'd have to say that my all-time favorite and most inspiring person would have to be Michael Jackson, because he came through a lot of things that I kind of relate to. He had a very complicated relationship with his family. He had a very complicated childhood in the way that things developed for him, and he really kind of tried to exemplify a message of peace and love and inspiration for people. And then we can move a little bit more into like my generation and say I'm very inspired by Lady Gaga as well, because that is one brave woman. I just admire her courage every day. It's just the way she gets up and the stuff that she deals with and the power that she exudes after everything that she has come out of is so impressive to me. So.
Absolutely. I love it. Where are we going to see you 3 years, 5 years from now? What are your career goals as far as music goes?
Well, my long-term goal, honestly, I used to tell people I want to be the biggest star ever. I was like 3 years old and I was saying that to people, and I would get oh, that's cute. But I think really that sums up what I want to do. I want to be the person in 3 to 5 years that people are looking at and saying, wow, if she did that, I can do this. If she can be a rock star, then I can be an astronaut or a doctor or a veterinarian or scuba diver. You know, whatever it is that their dream is, they can achieve that. They can I want to be that focal point. So, I mean, I'd love to play Super Bowl halftime. I'd love to win a Grammy. I'd love to go to the VMAs and, you know, be the shock and awe there. So I'm looking forward to doing all of that kind of one step at a time.
Nice. So can you let us into what you're currently working on right now then?
Well, currently, oh goodness, the biggest thing right now is we have a new project that's coming out, and we're not quite sure when it's going to be released because we want it to be perfect, but we're trying to connect with more people that are going to really be reached by that message. And so the biggest focus is actually reaching out to those people and saying, hey, here's the music. What do you think? What's your story? How can I reach out to you? And just connecting with those human beings. And the project that we're releasing, we're calling it the Anything for Diamonds project. It's going to be 8 songs. They're all singles, kind of released one at a time. And the first one of those is going to be Backstage Hero. So I can't promise you when it's coming out right now. You know, we're working on making sure that it's something that's worth people listening to and sharing and hopefully being very much encouraged by.
I love it. Do you have any shows lined up in the future at all in Texas or anywhere?
We're actually working on that right now. I'm kind of a chicken. I don't like to perform live. So for everybody out there who's shy, I'm shy. I'm very shy. I don't like getting up in front of people. But we're actually booking some shows, and we're going to start here in Austin and hopefully expand out into Texas. And there's been some talk of some shows in New York City because I've got quite a few of my fans out there that was like, come to New York, come see us. I'm like, okay, I've got to do that. So we're working on it, and it should be announced here fairly soon.
Nice. I love it. Okay, so you described yourself in a bio that I read about straight edge living. Can you briefly touch on that for us?
Ooh, well, you know, straight edge is, first of all, I would say, if you're interested in this at all, Google it because there's about 11 different types of straight edge. It's a term that actually came out of the punk movement, and it basically means, in its most boiled down form, no drugs, no alcohol, no tobacco. And that's what I stand for. I had to learn that because of some of the history of people that I know, alcohol and drugs do not fix problems. They don't. They just simply do not. They can let you ignore the problem until the problem gets a little worse, but they don't fix problems. And I made the decision at 14 years old that I was never going to drink, I was never going to smoke, I was never going to do drugs, and to this day I have never done any of that so far. And I can't promise that I never would. I might fall down at some point in my life, but at this point, I think God has been gracious to me. He's given me a wonderful support structure, and I don't intend to start any of those things. So that's what I'm hoping, is to be able to show people you can have a life in the arts. You can have a career in entertainment without doing the drugs. You can be cool, you can be admired, you can be sexy, you can be vibrant and popular, and you don't have to drink. And so that's what it means to me. Like I said, you're going to find all kinds of other definitions. Some people say it doesn't mean eating no meat. Some people say it means never having sex. Right. That's not my thing, but you know, if it works for some people, great. So
I love it. I love all the energy you bring, all the positivity, all the happiness, and I can't wait to see you big time. I am wondering if you have a life mantra or a life quote that you have found works for you or you live by or kind of guides you.
Oh yeah, actually I do, and I forget how to pronounce it, but it was a gentleman in the Air Force who gave it to me, and it is, if you can talk, you can sing. If you can walk, you can dance. And it was at a time in my life where, you know, the people that I admired, the celebrities I admired, I would say, oh my God, I'd have to look up to see the bottoms of their shoes. I am so terrible at everything that I want to do. I'm just no good. And this guy gave me this quote, and it made me think, you know, I already have everything that I need inside of me. I can learn, I can develop, and you know, no, I wasn't born dancing and moonwalking and twirling around and looking cool, but I can learn. And no, my voice may not be the very best, but I can get better. And that's, I think, the thing that I always go back to. So it just reminds it, just because you start at an average, normal, not extraordinary place doesn't mean you have to stay there. It's completely within your power to live an extraordinary life.
I love it. It's actually very similar to one that I share often in a same kind of concept, and that is a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. You just gotta start. You just put that foot forward, and then you keep going. I always say, you can climb Mount Everest with just baby steps. You can get there as long as you keep doing those baby steps every single day. I love it. Okay, two more questions. That's where can we find you, and we'll get to that one. What piece of advice could you give to our young teenagers who may or may not want to sing but have a passion or a dream and want to start? How do they start? Where do we go?
Well, I guess I would actually give 3 pieces of advice. And the first one is, you are never too stupid to learn. No matter what it is that you want to do, you can figure it out. You can. There is a book or a teacher or a podcast or a YouTube tutorial. There is something that will show you how to do it. You just have to learn. Now, the second one is kind of the one that goes hand in hand, and that is, you are never too cool to learn. And I've had to struggle with that attitude a lot myself. For the longest time, I didn't go follow people on Twitter because I thought, well, my music is good. They should come follow me because I'm awesome. And one of my friends says, you're really being a twit. That is just such a bad attitude. I don't like it. And I thought about it. You're right. You're right. I'm being rude. I need to be friendly. And when I changed that about myself, it was just like the world just opened up, and suddenly people actually cared about what I had to say instead of being irritated by me. So you're never too stupid to learn. You're never too cool to learn. And the final one would be, never, 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 never give up. Never give up. Because you're going to want to give up. I'll be perfectly honest with everybody. There will be days when getting out of bed seems like a monstrous struggle. There's going to be times when you feel like you cannot take one more breath. But all you got to do is take one more breath. Don't make it bigger than it is. Just do what you can do in that moment, and don't give up, because it does get better. It always gets better. It will. So that would be my advice. All my vast wisdom, but no. But it's what has worked for me.
I absolutely love it. I literally got the chills listening to you. I love it. I can hear the passion. I can also hear the pain in your voice. But that's what makes us smile and do what we do, because of what we've been through. And so if we can acknowledge the cycles, acknowledge the transitions, and know that we do come out of them. There is light at the end of the tunnel. There is an end to the winter time. Spring does come again,
Yes.
I am so happy to have you here. We are going to wrap up really soon. I would love to have you back. Maybe right before you do a show, we could have you come back on and stream for us.
I would love that.
We would love to have you. So just let me know. And where can all my followers, where can we connect with you?
The easiest place to find me is going to be Twitter. It's at Avion Blackstone. That's real straightforward. If you're a Facebook type of a person, I'm also on Facebook.com/Avion Blackstone. And I will let everybody know right up front, you follow me, the first thing I'm going to do is say, hi, here's my music, because that's who I am. And I just want you to have that perspective on me, and I want you to hit me back with whatever you do. Send me your art or your drawing or your stories that you write, or tell me about your dreams for whatever you want, because I want to encourage that, and that's my function. So I'd love to talk to everybody, but Twitter is definitely the best place to find me.
I love it. Thank you, Avion, so much for coming. I hope that you get to everywhere you want to go.
Well, thank you for having me, and I think I'm going to have to watch this show, because this has been an awesome experience.
Nice. I know for myself I want to hear more, and I'm sure people want to hear more, so I apologize for the delays. So we're definitely going to have you back. You bring such a light and a joy and a pure energy, and it's contagious and infectious. So please never stop doing what you're doing. I love it.
Well, I'll do my best, but thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.